Hi, and welcome to our second installment this week of Puppy Day School at No Bones About It Dog Training. I am going to be focusing this week on revisiting our foundation games. We tend to work on foundation games a lot in the first couple weeks when we have a puppy. Also, when you first start puppy school, I talk about that a lot. And then we start getting into all kinds of other behaviors, and you have a lot of stuff that you're kind of focused on. And what tends to happen is the foundation games get kind of lost in the mix. But I really want to double down on your efforts this coming week, next couple weeks, because there's a reason they're called foundation games. They are literally the foundation for all of your training. Think about name game. It is the number one thing that we can do to solidify any distance work. You have to be able, at any distance, at any level of distraction, to get your dog to stop, look, and listen and figure out what you need. That's what name game's all about. So I want to talk about ways we can start really to implement that in more distracting areas. So I'm going to start here with my friend Willow. Yes. Okay, so Willow has been here the longest out of all the puppies. So so again, you know, the basics of name game are saying your puppy's name one time. They need to stop what they're doing, find you, and give you attention and figure out what you want. Willow obviously did a really good job with that. So let's talk about a few more really distracting ways to practice name game. Oh, excuse us. So I've got some toys here that are food dispenser toys. So there are treats inside of this. So I'm gonna put this down right here and see, Willow, yes. Oh, see, that was super hard. Willow, yes, good. So you can see really hard for her. Willow, yes, good job. Okay, so what we're doing is she's got this treat toy dispenser. She's over there playing. She can see the value that she pays attention to me. She comes back, and then she goes back and she can play with her toy for a minute. Okay, that was a great job. Willow, yes, good job. All right, so that's another way to start really practicing. So I'm gonna put practicing with more distraction. So I'm gonna put another one down there. It's got a treat right stuck in it. Willow. Two things you gotta go by. That's so hard. Willow. Yes. Good.
I know, everybody wants to come play.
Everyone wants to come play. So, so that would be one method, is to start adding bigger distractions for your puppy. Again, Willow is she's pretty good at this, so I'm making this really difficult for her. We're gonna trade out some of the other puppies and look at different ways we can practice reinforcing name game. So foundation games with Lander. So one of her issues is demand barking. What just happened off camera, and may happen when we're on camera, is she knows that I've got these treats and these toys, and she's just sitting here barking at me. So I'm ignoring her. I'm not going to give her any kind of, I'm not even going to train her when she's doing that, because that training is rewarding for a dog, because they get treats and we have full attention. So oh, everybody just wants to be here. Rosie, go find that. So when she's calm and not barking at me, then we're gonna start, which is really good. Oh, see, you got to pick your times. Later, yes, touch. Very good. Okay, touch. Very good. All right, so touch is another one of our games that we're always going to be working on no matter what. And we're gonna add lots of distance. Again, I'm gonna wait and ignore that, because I don't like it. I don't like the demand barking. Thank you. Okay, so let's put this down and see what we can do here. Later. Yes, good. Now, if this was too difficult for her, Lander. Yes. So she's having a hard time. So Lander's having a hard time making the right choice to leave the toy that has food in it and respond to me. So I'm gonna pick this up and try a different toy. Okay,
What's that one?
Lander! Okay, so as a trainer, I need to work in increments where I can always be successful, at least 80 to 90% of the time. So if I try something or one or two things and they don't work, then I gotta try something else and make it easier and build on that value. So Lander, yes, good job, very nice. Lander, yes, good job. Okay, now the level of distraction outside of here is really high anyway. So even just practicing right now, Lander, yes, is a lot for a puppy. And I also just took those treat toys and I put them outside the gate. So that's really hard. She's sort of searching for those. Lander, yes, good job. Very nice. So things to keep in mind are challenging your dog, but in a way that we can touch. Make sure that we're not making too big of a leap in our training so that the dog starts to have a lot of failure. That's just unraveling all of the foundation work we're doing. Touch. Good job. All right, so moving on to Gus and our foundation games. So I'm gonna put this back down on the ground. This is, again, maybe way too hard for Gus to leave that toy. Gus! Yes!
Oh yes, good job, Touch. Very good. Gus!
All right, now you can see that he came over, but then once he got his cookie, Gus, he left. So what I'm gonna do, okay, because I want to keep his focus until I give him permission to do something else, which is using his release word. Again, the release word is okay. It means we're done, we're finished. So once I released him, he can go back and play with that. But the first time, he came over, he got his treat, and he ran right back there. So what did I do? I made some adjustments. He came in the second time when I did name game, and I continually treated him until I thought he would stay, and he did. And then I released him, and he went back. So let's try that again. Gus!
Oh, this is so hard. There's another cookie in there.
Gus! Pup, 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 pup. Okay, I'm gonna lure him away. I'm gonna try again. Gus! Yes. Okay, so Gus! Yes. So again, what I did when he wouldn't leave, and ideally I should have just released him until he went back, but hard when I'm trying to give instruction. So what I did when I said Gus's name and Gus didn't leave is I didn't repeat the name. That's number one about name game. You can't get in the habit of repeating your puppy's name and then eventually rewarding them. That does not work. It defeats the purpose. So what I did was I lured Gus away from the toy. So he was over here chewing. Yes. So again, novelty wore off of the toy a little bit, so this has become much easier. Gus! Yes. Good job. If you're out and about, bring your cookies. Try this when you're on a walk. A lot of times what I'll do is I will just have different toys around and I'll distract the puppy with toys that I know the dog loves. Gus! Yes. Good job.
Okay, go play. Go play. Says, nope, I don't want to go play. I don't like it. There we go.
Gus! Yes, good job. So, reviewing again, not repeating the name, using your marker word. Your marker word is the word yes. The minute that dog's head turns to you, that's the time you want to use your marker word. And then when the dog is close enough that you could grab their collar, that's when you get your food and deliver the cookies. And not leaving your hands out in front with food, okay? And when I'm practicing name game, I do add in a lot of hand targets so that I'm constantly working on.
Good. Do higher. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
We know Gus can jump. We know Gus can jump. There we go. Yes. 2 or 3, maybe in between. Oh, go in between the legs. Yes, good job. Always getting more and more hand touches for one treat. That's another way that we're building that skill. All right, and our last puppy is going to be Rosie. So Rosie is our newest puppy to the group. This is her first week. And so we are going to start with the very basics of this, which is puppy right near us, very little distraction, and working on name games. Rosie! So we were doing this earlier inside. This blanket is filled with dog smells and treats and things like that. That in itself.
Oh, plus we're just tie right now. We're super tired. Rosie! Yes, good job. Very good.
Rosie! Yes. Okay, so sometimes she's just gonna look at me inadvertently in the beginning. Rosie! Yes. Okay, I want that dog to barely look away before I try again. Rosie! Yes. Okay, really hard for you to see her little eyes, but I'm waiting for her eyes to glance up in my direction. Rosie!
Yes, good job.
Very good. So, making this as easy as possible so the dog can be successful. Rosie! Yes. Very good. And then working on our touch. 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 Well, that was rude. Now your turn. Touch. Rosie. Yes. Touch. Good job. I would try to work in blocks of 5. Do 5 repetitions of something. Take a quick break, play with a toy, let your dog just have a second to walk around and sniff, then do maybe another block of 5, maybe 4 times in a row. For things like name game, if we're making a concerted effort to do a little bit of extra training. Out and about, sprinkle them throughout walks, things like that, but pick times you know your puppy can be successful. So our thoughts this week are about kind of doubling down on your foundation game efforts. It will vastly improve your dog's recall, coming when called, if you spend time and effort working on making sure that your name game is spot on. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.